Hey guys, Animanga here. I have the episode 7 review, otherwise known as Attack from the Deep, the 7th episode of Duel Monsters. A very iconic episode, like all of them. I know I'm like a broken record saying that, but it's true. And this one's iconic for its own special reason, as you all may know. Most of you watching my channel already know what's coming, so so let me just get straight into the 5 points. Um, so the first point that I wanted to bring up about this episode is Joey and Tristan just stealing food. They said they just, their feeding frenzy thing that they said in the show. So the thing is, there's no food on the island. You have to bring your food to come to Duelist Kingdom, unless you want to starve. Because later we see people like Mai have rations and stuff that they need, and Rex has a backpack on him, so I'm guessing he had that too. Weevil also had one. So they all had rations probably. They were all smart and brought their own food, but Yugi and the gang did not bring their own food or anything. That's why they have to mooch off Mai later. But beside the point, Joey and Tristan just see the fish, or Mako's fish, sitting there on the rock and just decide to steal it. Now, Taya mentions this, that they're stealing it, and they're like, we'll pay him back later. Or we'll pay him back later. And Tristan's like, yeah, I'm just going with Joey. Let's commit a crime. So, yeah, that's the first point. I always thought it was funny, the feeding frenzy thing they would say. So that's the first point. The second point, the famous Duelist Kingdom rule where you can hide monsters in the water. If you have a water field power bonus, or you're on a water field, you can hide your water monsters. And he just was hiding his monsters the whole duel. It's like later when Panic hides his monsters in the dark. It's not cheating, but if, someone who's never seen the show and has played the game is like, that's cheating. Of course, I watch it, or you guys maybe watch it and say, oh, that's just Duelist Kingdom. That's normal. Yeah, just regular Duelist Kingdom craziness. And this is one of my favorite ones because the things that happen in this duel are completely insane, but they still make sense. The monsters hiding the water makes sense. I don't care what anyone says about it being Duelist Kingdom BS or whatever. I think it makes sense. So that's the second point. I think it makes sense. Most people don't, but I do. The third point, Mako's sad backstory. I knew I'd have to bring it up for this episode. It's brought up later in Battle City too, but where his dad supposedly goes missing. I think he dies in the sub, but I'm going by the dub. So he's apparently missing, and Mako wants to buy a boat with the Duelist Kingdom money so he can sail the seven seas and find his dad. So, yeah, it's a very sad story. You could see the Pharaoh was pretty sad about it when he was listening to it. You could see in his face he felt bad for Mako. Definitely felt bad. So the Pharaoh's not without empathy. He definitely has empathy. He just is very prideful and very, very assertive with his personality. So that's the third point. Mako's sad backstory was very sad. And every time I watch it, still 20 some odd years later, or 20 years later, it still makes me sad watching it. The fourth point, and plus the music really swelled at the end point in his story, and it worked out really well. So yeah, and it led to the Pharaoh's theme, which is my favorite theme, and that's just an iconic moment in itself. The fourth point, the famous destroy the moon play that the Pharaoh does, where he destroys the moon that he played himself on the field to boost his Silver Fang. And he destroys it himself with his own monster. A monster with no effect, destroying an equip spell. Just listen to what I said there, play it back. And the crazy thing is it actually makes sense. Because in real life, the moon controls the tides. The Pharaoh even explains this. So I don't understand why people get upset about this and they think it's insane. It is insane, but it makes sense. It's correct. It makes sense with real life. And I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite Pharaoh plays of all of Duelist Kingdom, and that's saying something. I love it a lot. This moment alone makes this episode just by itself, not even adding the other stuff. Okay, so that's the fourth point. The fifth point, the respect between Yugi and Mako, or the Pharaoh and Mako, is really good. I love their respect towards each other. It shows Mako's different from like the Weevils and Rexes of Duel Monsters, and even Mai's. He has more respect. He respects his opponents. He doesn't try to really trick them. Um, he just, well, I shouldn't have said that because he did trick him with the fish. He let him in. He lured him in. But he's not just gonna like steal your star chips without dueling you. He will duel you in an honorable duel, and the Pharaoh paid him back with an honorable duel. It's just he was better than Mako. So that's the fifth point. So now that I've done all 5 points, I think now it's about time to rate the episode. Now, you may remember last episode, the Joey Mai duel, I rated a 7.5 out of 10, or 7.5 out of 10, because it's a very famous duel, of course, but it doesn't have extremely iconic moments like this episode. This episode, just for the moment alone, I would rate it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, definitely. I had to rate it. When I saw the ratings, I was like, well, I have to rate this one higher than the last episode because it has a more iconic moment. One of the probably top 10 most iconic moments from the show. And I think you guys would agree with me on that. Just let me know in the comments if you disagree or whatever you agree, anything. Just let me know. So 8 out of 10. The episode MVP is, of course, Yami Yugi, or the Pharaoh. Like he will be in a lot of episodes. Because just his demeanor, his confidence, being surrounded on all sides, like you see in this picture, when the giant soldier of stone was surrounded on all sides by all the water monsters, all the sea creatures. He never lost faith. He never lost focus. He always made sure he had a plan. He knew he had that moon out there, and he was going to destroy it with his giant soldier. Now, by Duelist Kingdom rules, I'm guessing Mako couldn't attack that turn. And that's why I didn't destroy the giant soldier there. Because I'm sure Koreashin could, but regardless, I guess he had to wait a turn. And then the Pharaoh destroys it, then plays Burning Land, and the rest is history. Fish fillets the sea creatures. So that's it for this video. Quick one, shorter one today. 8 out of 10, like I said, and the episode MVP is the Pharaoh. And I'm appreciative, very appreciative of you guys watching my channel. I hope you continue watching it, and I'll be back for the next episode, episode 8. Everything is relative, or everything's relative, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.